What's up, guys? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we'll be looking at the Mafex Boba Fett figure from Medicom. And here's a quick look at him in the packaging. You're able to see him and all his accessories, and you get a little shot of the figure right there in front. And then on the side you get another shot of the whole figure, and it says Star Wars, and on the opposite side Star Wars and another shot of Boba Fett. On the back you get a look at a couple different things. You get to see the Boba Fett's antenna come down, and you get to see him in a couple different poses, and it has a couple close-ups of his jetpack and the sculpt. And yeah, this packaging is cool. It's collector friendly. I do kind of wish that they did a better job at hiding the stand, because that does kind of make it look ugly if you're into keeping it in the package and stuff like that. But other than that, it's pretty cool packaging. And now let's take a look at the articulation. His head is able to go side to side, and it's able to tilt a pretty nice amount, and it could go forward about that much, but it could only go back about that much. And then the antenna moves up and down. Then he has a waist swivel, so he could swivel side to side, and it does tilt a little bit. The belt kind of gets in the way, but you could get him to tilt a pretty good amount. And he could crunch just a little bit with that little waist swivel, but not much at all. And it comes back about that much. And then for his arms, they're able to come to the front about that much before the shoulder pad stops him. Then they're able to come back about that much before the shoulder pad stops it. And then it can come out to the side. And then he has upper bicep swivel, and he has double jointed elbows. His hands are able to swivel and hinge. And then for his legs, you're able to bring them down a little bit, and then you can move them forward about that much. The pads can kind of get in the way, but you can move them if you need to. And it could come back about that much, and then they come to the side. Then he has double jointed knees. He has a swivel at the foot, and it's able to tilt down, tilt up, and then he also has toe articulation. So it has a really nice amount of articulation. You do have to move the pads around and stuff like that to get his legs to move good, but it's pretty good. And for his accessories, he comes with a set of open hands, a set of fists, and then he comes with one right gripping hand that kind of works as like a pointing finger too. And he could use that to hold on to his pistol, and he could use that hand to hold on to his rifle. It kind of sucks that he only has one pistol gripping hand though. And here's a closer look at his gun, and it looks very cool. It has some, some paint details, not much, but yeah, it looks nice. But yeah, I wish it had a little bit of, like metal wear detail on the gun. And same with this here, not too much paint detail, but it works. It's just fine. It's a little small, but yeah, it looks very cool. And like most Mafex figures, he comes with a stand. And this stand is cool, but it's a little hard to get around his waist because of his belt with the pouches and stuff. But yeah, this is cool. And this stand is a 3-piece stand. It comes apart right here, and it comes apart right here. And it has 3 points of articulation here. And these things kind of get loose, but you could just use a little screwdriver to tighten it up, and it's like brand new. So I like the Mafex stands. They're very, very cool. For some size comparisons, here he is next to Pizza Spider-Man and DC Icon's Flash. And then here he is next to Mafex Batman and Mafex Darth Vader. And then here he is next to Figure Arts Ant-Man and Figure Arts Luke Skywalker. And here's a quick look at him next to the Hasbro Black Series Boba Fett. And I definitely like this new Mafex one a lot better. There's nothing wrong with the Hasbro one, but I just prefer the Mafex one. When I got the Hasbro one, I was slightly disappointed. I just didn't like it as much as I thought I would. But the Mafex one, I'm really satisfied with it. And here's a closer look at the head sculpts of the two figures. And yeah, on the Mafex one, there's a lot more battle damage, and it's just more detailed in general. It looks really good, and the helmet seems like it's a little bit bigger compared to the body. And yeah, it looks very good. And here's a closer look at the figures overall. And I believe that both of these are the Empire versions, so they should be pretty much the same, but the Hasbro one does look a lot brighter. The colors don't look as dark as the Mafex one. And on the Hasbro one, the jetpack does come off. And with the Mafex one, it does not. One thing I'd say that the Hasbro one has over the Mafex one is that his forearm is able to swivel. And the Mafex one does not, and that kind of sucks. And here's a comparison of the weapons. You can see that the Hasbro one is a lot bigger and does have a little bit more paint details. You can see some, like, you know, some wear at the barrel there, and, you know, the handles painted a color. So that's pretty cool, but it doesn't have the strap. And does feel pretty flimsy. The Mafex one, it's pretty solid. I don't think it's going to warp or anything like that. And here's a closer look at the pistols. And you can see here too that the Hasbro one is a lot bigger. But yeah, they're pretty much the same. Neither of them really has that much paint details. And here's a closer look at the Mafex one by itself. And they did a really good job on the sculpt. I love the detail. The shoulder pads here are soft plastic, so they don't get in the way too much. But yeah, he looks really good. It's sculpted really good all the way around. And yeah, I'd say this is one of the better Mafex figures. This thing is really, really good. I'm really happy with it. There's nice paint shading throughout the whole figure. I like the way they did this. This thing just slips out, but it comes right back in. You can put it right back in, so you don't have to worry about breaking it or anything like that. So I like that. The jetpack, as I said before, doesn't come off. And some people were upset that his cape wasn't clothed, but I really don't mind. I think it looks good. It's sculpted nice. Some details here in his back. You got the little gun holster. And yeah, he looks great. I really like it. You got the Wookiee hair braid right there. And you got the symbol on his shoulder pad. And as you can see under his helmet, you can see that there's like a head under there, but there isn't like a face sculpt or anything. But it's cool that it looks like that. But yeah, I think Mafex did a really good job. And this belt, you're able to swivel around to help you get some movement out of it. And you got some more Mandalorian symbols on his chest. And yeah, it looks really good. So overall, I'm really, really happy with this Boba Fett figure. Like I said before, I think this is probably one of the better Mafex figures. I know some people were upset because he doesn't have chest articulation, but I don't really see how you could, you know, incorporate chest articulation with his armor and stuff like that. And you do get a little bit of movement in his torso with that waist joint, so I think that it's good. I'm really happy with this guy. And a huge plus for me with this figure is there's nothing on him that's like brittle, or there's nothing that I feel that's going to break or anything like that. I mentioned before that when I got the Mafex Batman vs Superman regular Batman, his hand broke right away, or the wrist peg broke right away. I don't feel that that's going to happen with Boba Fett here. He's really sturdy. There's nothing on him really that I feel that's going to break. So that's really good, because I know Mafex, a lot of times their quality is questionable. But yeah, in this case, I think they did a really good job. There's really nothing to worry about. I'm very, very happy with them. And this Boba Fett is the Empire Strikes Back version, and they're supposed to be releasing the Return of the Jedi version pretty soon. And I was originally going to pass on that version because this one came out first, so I just got this one first. And but after taking a closer look at the promo pictures, I think that it looks really cool, and it's different enough to justify it. There's a lot of cool paint apps, and there's a little bit of differences like on his pouches and stuff like that. But yeah, both of them look very cool, so I think that's coming out pretty soon. I'm not really sure when though. Yeah, and in my opinion, there's no real huge flaws with this figure. I can't think of any big complaints. I could understand people preferring like the cloth cape, but you know, like other than that, I don't really see anything that anyone could really complain about. Yeah, he's a very cool figure, and I'm really, really happy with him. I do look forward to seeing if Figure Arts does one, to see how that one comes out, to, you know, determine which one's going to be the best one out there. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure what Figure Arts could do to improve on it, you know, from this. I mean, he's cool. I like him a lot. There's nothing I can say bad about him, really. But yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to check out CoolToyReview.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. Also, if you like the video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that cool stuff. And that's it. Thank you very much. Peace.